Okay, testing mic okay, good. So I am back again for more question to answer. To answer more question. So I have trade I actually okay. Because previously all this content previously in the what's it called in the live stream that I cut out is question from my trader. So I think I want to focus on the targeted question on what you should be asking instead of asking like all those like very weird question. So I actually compile a few questions that asked by my fellow traders, and I would do it into a series, like I say a small mini explanation of from my perspective, so we can learn from this and move on with our life instead of just swiping through the shots. Okay, so let's do this way. Okay, so let's see what can I do. Let's talk about risk management. Let's talk about risk management. Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about risk management. I usually people ask the very beginner question, or beginner people. I won't say beginner lah. I would say people who start out in trading. They have no idea what should you do, what should you ask, and usually very focused on the result. So people, first of all, very afraid of losing money, which is normal. You should be afraid of losing your money, and uh, really wanted to know when can you get as much money as possible, as much return as possible, which makes sense because you're in trading. Okay, so I think the most condensed version of this question should be asked like, how much should I as a trader risk per trade if my capital is small? Okay, if this one is for capital or people with capital small, and even if your capital is big, please do look at this. Okay, so let's talk about that. How much should I risk if my capital is small? Okay, so I would say I think I talked about this just recently, Annie. Just recently. Let's take this. Okay, first of all, first we already talked about if you already have your strategy down, strategy of trading down already settled it settle. For example, if it's support resistance strategy, is MACD strategy, is a YOY strategy. Okay, you already settled this already. Now you want to know is like how much risk per trade as per my capital. So for example, determine your how big is your capital. For example, if your capital is 100, yes, you can do it, but how are you willing to just dump it off? Because remember one thing, lower capital equals to a higher risk. Okay, lower capital, you are restricted to do less stuff. You're restricted to do less stuff. What do I mean by that? For example, if I said you are only able to you're only able to lose 1% per day, 1 to 2% per day, percent per trade, not per day, per trade. So if let's say you are using $100 account, your 1%, 2% is equals to $1, $2 only. $2 only. And $1 and $2, you see the minimum entry position is the minimum entry is 0.01 lot. Okay, we're talking about gold first. We're talking about gold first. So per pips, up down, if you 10 pips, you are already $1. 10 pips different, you are already difference by $1. No, is it? Yeah, 10 pips you are already different by $1. So, and in gold, reaching 10 pips is very, very easy. It's the moment you enter the moment you enter the market, you already lose like 2 to 3 4 pips depending on your broker, depending on your IB give you the what's it called, the spreads from spreads. Okay, so if you said you wanted to use $100 to lose to trade, and then per trade you lose like your risk is 1 to 2%, and then per trade you also lose like 20 cents, 0.2 cents, 0.2 to 0.4 per trade for what's it called, for swap fee. So do you think do you think, if based on this one, if you understand where you're going from, your cost of trading is so damn high, okay, it's so damn high, you don't have room to breathe, and you need to be correct almost every time in order for this to be not high risk. What I'm saying right now, the lower your capital, the higher the risk. Okay, what I'm trying to explain. Okay, so now let's say this one is 100, right? This one is 100. Let's talk about 1,000. Let's say you increase to 1,000 for easy sake, now you have a bit more standard. For me, I would say it's more standard. Of course, if you have higher capital, definitely is better. However, let's talk about 1,000 first, so that you have easy measure from there. Okay, $1,000 capital, and then you're losing because you said 1 to 2% per trade, right? Correct? Yes, now 1 to 2% per trade. Oh, 1 to 2% per trade. 1 to 2% per trade. So 1 to 2% per trade is how much? It's around $10 to $20, right? $20 per trade, right? So let's talk about gold first. Of course, there's always you need to know what's your trading pair to be more specific on what you want to trade, how much you're willing to raise, and what's the volatile, and what's blah, blah, blah. There's a lot more to know. But let's talk about gold, because gold is what I usually trade in. It's much more easier for me to explain, and it's much more straightforward. Okay, so for gold, let's say even with $1,000 account, per 1% to 2% per trade, I would say still go for 0.01 lot. Okay, 0.01 lot, because we are only maximum, we are losing 10 to 20 what's this called, 10 to 20 dollars, am I correct? Yeah, 10 to 20 dollars per trade. So that means if 0.01 lot times, you need 100 to 200 pips to lose this trade. Okay, you need 100 to 200 pips in order to lose this trade, in order to reach 10 or 20 dollars for 0.01. Am I right? Okay, am I right? So if let's say if you're using $100, that's $100, you want $1 is very easy to kena only 10 pips you kena. But if you reach 0.01 pip at 0.01 lot, you need 100 pips to lose that trade. So it's much more easier to breathe, much more easier to target. Okay. However, this one, at the end of the day, you still need to know your strategy. If this strategy works for you, please by all means go with it. Okay, by all means go with it. Okay, I will screenshot this and I put in my what is that called? I'll screenshot it and put in my Telegram. I'll do this daily. I'll do this as much as possible so that we can understand it as a trader. Okay. If you want to know, you want to get this, please. If you want to get the compilation of this, please come to the Discord so they can know. On Discord, you come to the Telegram so they can know what you are able to learn. Okay. Okay. So done this. Now